I heard that laugh. He's right there. David? Yeah. So I wanted to show you what I found. You too.
How are you?
How you doing?
Hanging in there. How are you doing?
Yeah, one day at a time. They cut up the basic. That's going to pop up. We're going to do second fire station in Ferndale, and we're under process of that. So that gives you the whole.
Yes, it's 10 p.m.
It's 10 p.m., so you know where your children are at?
Yeah, he said, yeah, we'll get you.
Oh, I know, big time. They definitely.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Commercials on. That means my parents can look for me now. Good times, good times.
Back before video.
Now we got cell phones. Ready, Pat?
Evening, if we'll all rise for a moment of silence and Vice Mayor Field lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda review.
Looks good, thank you.
Looks good, thank you.
Good.
I did have a question or concern. So, Live Local, this is just the first reading. There still has to be a second reading and a vote.
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure on that. Okay.
Let's read it.
I was confused on that, so that gives me, I had questions, and I'll get with you after the meeting on the questions. But I was like, great, I'm gonna have to like shove these questions through now, so, okay, thank you.
No, we have second reading, sir.
Okay, with that said, public comment, if there's anybody in the audience want to speak on anything, please come forth at this time.
Farmer Banks, Helfrich, Plato District, South Lake County. Farm tip of the day, now in the humid and hot months, you can actually grow crops in Florida, such as peanuts, black-eyed peas, watermelon, sweet potatoes, and believe it or not, lupus actually grow in Florida. Mayor, council, distinguished guests, happy birthday, America. This month we are 249 years old. We're the longest current serving government charter in the history of humankind. So, what does it mean to be an American? If you look to the person on your left, if you look to the person on your right, if you look at yourself in the mirror, we are all from somewhere else. In fact, we are all immigrants. We are from Canada, we are from Cambodia, we are from China, we are from Japan, we are from Israel, we are from every place around the entire world. We are a hodgepodge of people who have come together to live together, so we are the United Nations in action. We are groups of people that bring culture and our religion and our arts and food and fuse it into the diaspora of America. In fact, we are a melting pot who have come together to learn together, to live together, to love together, to govern together, and to govern together. So, the next time you hear someone say something disparaging about an immigrant, remember, they are talking about every single one of us. I am Farmer Banks Helfrich. Thank you for allowing me to speak. May you all be blessed.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
Nicole Marie, 879 High Point Circle. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening.
On June 30th, Minneola signed the Greenway and Active Places Agreement. It's the commitment to regional collaboration around trails, conservation, and public connectivity. It's a shared vision that links growth with access to green space and preservation of ecological corridors. So at this time, Minneola does have the Trailhead Park, but there is no other formally zoned for conservation, and no map trails extending into future developments with active growth underway. So I figured now is the time to ask these questions. Now that you have signed the GAPA, does the city have a next step currently?
Is that a question to be answered now?
So, I mean, is it yes?
We had requested from the attorney to look into making some land. I think you and I discussed earlier, putting a conservation easement or what are our options of the overlook. So yes, we have some next steps.
Okay, so is part of this next step to consider aligning with the county's conservation strategy and the Trails Master Plan? Has that been considered or talked about?
We encourage all the projects that come through to, review their master plan and abide by that as a
Right, but
normal.
the city, what I'm asking is the city has to adopt the plan, not just for them to look at it and like we're offering them to like, hey, would you look at it and maybe apply this to your development? Like, is the city going to adopt this already written code that was provided by the county as part of the new plan moving forward?
So it has been considered. But again, we require the developers to take a look at that. We have, they've been very accommodating to address those needs. And a couple of items on there we're not going to be able to connect. So we've got 2 trails under the turnpike that's part of their master plan to connect through. The state no longer will allow us to use those box culverts under there. So some of those things are beyond our control, but the developer was willing to build it out. Just the state turned it down. So.
Okay, so then my next question, without getting too much into it, would be if we don't already have one on the calendar, are we going to consider making a public workshop for this in the near future to discuss how Minneola intends to implement the GAPA and approach future trail and green space planning? So is there one on the agenda currently? Because this was just signed June 30th, and I know that these are all things that were brought up in that meeting.
Right, but prior to that, we'd already required trails to be done on Scrub J, and all the way with Hancock, all the way to 455. So we've already.
You've required it?
They're
So there's
actually-
documentation that says that there's plans in place and that it's been approved and it's a considered
if you-
conservation zone?
If you go out to 455, the trail is being built as we speak.
Right, but there's documentation in our archives and public records that says that this is a trail and it's considered conservation, so they can't come up and tear it up or anything like that.
No, ma'am, there's not.
So was it put through planning and zoning as conservation? Was that something that we discussed as well? So we're just kind of winging it. That's what I'm getting at. Is that what I'm hearing?
Okay.
No, we work on connectivity. You know, the trails on Hancock Road, the developers had to build some of those out. That's all part of the county's master plan. There's going to be multi-purpose trails on Citrus Grove Road. You know, parts of that's been built out by a developer. There's a pedestrian bridge across the turnpike where Scrub J Lane is. The state did build that, but that's part of the county's plan.
Okay, so I would, again, like to continue to drive this put home. Can we get a workshop or request a workshop on this so that we can actually look at what the conservation plan is, so all of the residents understand we all are on the same page? Because the county did the framework. They already did the work. They did the trail plan. They have the conservation. I was reading it all myself last night. It's an incredible plan. It would be very easy for the city to adapt it. You know, we say we're working on connectivity, but if we're not a part of that framework, then how are we really working on connectivity with other plans? I do have some options and some proposals, but again, I would like to save that for a workshop if that's all possible. So I guess if we can just maybe consider workshopping this.
You can consider working shop right now, but we've got a couple of projects that are priority.
Okay, well, conservation is a priority when we have development plans coming through. So if this is not something that we're going to approach hand in hand, if we build it all, there's going to be nothing to save. So I just hope that you take that into consideration, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we have a presentation.
Before we
Oh,
do that
sorry.
presentation.
We need to excuse her.
Sorry.
Oh, we got Jen.
Sorry.
Hi.
Okay. You can just Venmo.
Hello? Hello? Okay, Jennifer Morse, 1064 Golden Dawn Loop. I have a couple questions. First one, Mayor Kelly, since your term as mayor ends next year, you're currently campaigning for district-run school board seat. Do you plan to complete your term, or are you considering stepping down early? If so, what factors are influencing your decision? And if not, how do you plan to navigate the transition?
That's still up in the air. Have not decided.
Do you know when you're going to make a decision?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay. And then the next question is, our year end is September 2025. When are we going to see the budget?
The finance department is working on that now. It's a lot bigger, a lot more projects, so it's taking them a little more time to sort through all that.
It's taking what? I'm sorry.
It's taking them a little more time to sort through that because all the big projects we have going on. and making sure that those are thought through and planned out.
Okay, so do we have a time frame of when we can expect it?
Probably, the goal is the first week of August, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Okay. And that should allow us time to review it and have ample discussion. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Josh Eager, 2045 Axel Street. I just had a couple questions around the budget and Parks and Rec. My first question is, for all the new construction happening, is there an impact fee? I believe there is, but it's specifically for Parks and Rec, right? Do you have a ballpark of just like how much has been collected, not spent from that?
I can get that number for you. I'd hate to
Okay.
rely on my memory right now, but I can get that for you.
Is there a way for me to get it like on the website or anything? I guess what I'm really getting at is like, it'd be good to see a little more transparency on kind of like where we have funds sitting and available. So if citizens want to get a little involved in, park projects, things like that, having if there's $200,000, it's like, okay, maybe a new bench or a small playground or something, right? If there's $2 million available, kind of, I know there's people in that community that want to be involved in, spearheading kind of input at least on what kind of parks and things we'd like to see. But if, it's difficult to know because, Minneola has gone from a very small town with small budgets to is growing a lot. So if it's not readily available on the website now, is that something that could be added possibly?
We could certainly consider trying to, figure out a way to have that out there and have it more up to date. It wouldn't be real-time data as permits come in, but we could have something out there for sure.
Because I think right now in the budget, it wouldn't be there, right? It would be allocated funds, but you wouldn't have. So like for the 24 or 25 budget, when you posted it, it's not going to have like the running total, right? Only if there's
Of impact fees collected, no.
Okay. Then my other question is, I know Eric's not here, but I'm just wondering for the property, for the pit, I would love to see like another workshop not involving the consultant we had last time. Not that workshop shouldn't take place as well, but I think there's a lot of community input that could happen that would be much more productive to happen outside of that meeting, because if it's how do we have something that they're going to present, which is going to be co-opted by, there's going to be outside interests financially, right, to support it, versus, what could we do as a city without that, without the sponsorship, with a smaller budget, purely community driven. And I think that conversation needs to happen without the consulting company. And I think it'd be helpful for everyone to kind of get a picture of, if we do this ourselves with this property that, the city already owns, with the funds available, impact fees and whatever's in the CRA, et cetera, what could we do versus, what the consultant's working on. But I know government's a little slow, but I can't, it doesn't make sense to me why we haven't had another workshop or, more inputs on that.
It seemed as though for now, the public, there was a very mixed set of opinions on what should be done in that property. It ranged from make it a forest to, we're okay with ball fields and everywhere in between. So I think it was something they wanted to kind of digest and regroup at a future date. But I know that's something that's on everyone's mind for sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
If I can make a motion to excuse Eric Hernandez.
Motion, can I get a second?
A second.
First and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we have a City of Minneola proclamation for the Crooked Can Brewing Company being the official beer of the city. And we did, I think Eric Hernandez came up with the idea and ran it through your department, and they said that everything was okay. And this is because, why, people ask. Whereas the Crooked Can Brewing Company, founded in 2014, has invested in and constructed a state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot brewery and tap room in the city of Minneola, officially breaking ground on April 15, 2025. And whereas the Crooked Can Brewing Company has earned widespread acclaim for its innovative beer crafts, community-focused taproom experience, and steadfast dedication to brewing excellence. And whereas the brewery contributes to local economy, growth, job creation, and serves as a community gathering place for residents and visitors alike. And whereas the brewery's Florida Proud offering celebrates both craftsmanship and community spirit in a way that reflects and enhances the character of the city of Minneola. And whereas the City Council wishes to affirm all beers brewed by Crooked Can Brewing Company under its brand shall be recognized under this proclamation. Now therefore I, Pat Kelly, Mayor of the City of Minneola, do hereby proclaim Crooked Can Brewing Company and all beers brewed by Crooked Can Brewing Company to hereby be designated the official beer of the City of Minneola in recognition of the company's contributions to the community and its role in shaping the city's cultural and economic vitality. So, congratulations. So, step down and, ooh, heavy.
Hold hands.
No pressure, but you can say a few words if you like. You don't have to.
You got anything to say? Because it's kind of new, kind of caught you off guard. I wish Eric was here because this was Eric's idea. So,
Yeah, I just want to say thanks. It's a great honor. We're really excited about getting up and open into Minneola and being a part of this great town. And you know, as we were talking about, as some of the comments were made about different trails and things of that perspective, I think we're going to be able to provide a really nice park-like setting there that's going to be available to everyone. So I think it's going to be a great addition for the community, a great gathering place, not just for people who like beer, but people who like to be around other people and like to see pretty things and have fun. So we can't wait.
I can't either.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
You have next one is a project update. Do you have anything you want to hit on high notes?
High notes, the Grassy Lake Road Education Avenue project's out for bid right now.
Okay.
The speed humps have been installed.
How many speed humps did go in?
Oh my goodness, I'm not sure. I don't recall.
I know one.
What's that?
I know one because I see it every day.
Oh, they go all the way down.
Oh, they go all the way down.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, I've not been down that way. Okay, thank you.
And then, Hancock widening, the county's working on that project. I don't have anything new to add, but they are, diligently working on it. And
I think it's getting ready to go out to bid. I spoke with Aaron Blake this week, and he said it's, oh, no, not Hancock Road, sorry, that was Citrus Grove Road, my bad.
the wastewater treatment plant project, we had a pre-bid meeting for a contractor at risk, and that meeting went well. we'll have further information on that as we move along. Got the numbers in for the Trailhead Park Improvement Project, and I'll share those with y'all at an upcoming meeting.
Has that been awarded, or when will that come back for award?
Sir?
When will that come back to be awarded? When will that bid be awarded?
We'll probably be the very next meeting from
Okay,
now.
thank you.
Let's see. Citrus Grove Road, we've been in contact with the state. They're on the third, I think, project manager since this process has started. So they have another new project manager who's gotten up to speed, and some of the information they asked for this week have been provided, and they should be getting very close to putting that out for bid now. So that's all. That's the highlights.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Any updates or anything else?
No,
Nope.
Thank you.
Mark, for my own edification, the design for the waste treatment plant is complete?
No, it's in process, and in order to speed it up, we're looking to do a construction manager at risk, CMAR, and in order to speed it up. But the process is being designed, but is not designed yet.
So isn't it risky to go out for bids for the waste treatment plant when the design hasn't been completed?
So what we're seeking bids on is a CMAR, construction manager at risk, and they get involved early in the process, in the design process. It's a little different process than going out for bid once it's already designed. And it's a way to speed up the whole thing, value engineer it as we go along.
I understand that, but does that result in a firm bid by the contractor?
It will be a not-to-exceed amount, yes, sir.
And do we know yet whether we need more land?
For this project, we will not, but in the future, we're going to need more land. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about
At
it.
this waste treatment plant?
Yes, sir.
And why would we need more land if the design is set, is almost set, and the contractor is on board to some degree, and yet we know we don't need any more land for the design that we have? I don't quite understand why we would need more land without a design that says we need more land.
Well, this project won't get us to 20-year mark. So, and you don't want to get too far ahead of your services. You end up in challenging financial times if you get too far ahead of your services. So when the city is built out, and as each PUD comes in and there's greater densities, we're going to need more than what we're building today
At this facility?
at this facility.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Saunders?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. City manager consent agenda. Is there anybody in the audience want to speak on this? We'll bring it back to council for,
I'll make a motion to approve the city manager's consent agenda.
got a motion? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Ordinance.
The next item, item 7, is an ordinance 2025-11, an ordinance of the City of Minneola, Florida pursuant to Section 196.1978, paren 3O, Florida statutes, electing to not exempt property under Section 196.1978, paren 3D1A, Florida statutes, commonly known as the Live Local Act property tax exemption for certain multi-family residential units, providing for findings, providing for opt-out, providing for applicability, providing for advertising and notice to the property appraiser, providing for no waiver of rights, providing for an effective date and expiration, providing for severability and conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Anybody in the audience? It will be coming back the next meeting.
That will come back next meeting, which will be August 5th.
Okay, thank you.
And would you like me to read item 9, or item 8, excuse me?
Please.
It's a resolution 2025-12 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Minneola, Florida, relating to the provision of fire protection services, facilities, and programs in the City of Minneola, Florida, describing the method of assessing fire protection assessed cost against assessed property located within the City of Minneola, directing the preparation of an assessment roll, authorizing a public hearing, and directing the provision of notice thereof, and providing for an effective date.
And this one we do need to make a vote on.
We do.
Is there anybody in the audience want to speak on this? If not, we'll bring it back to council for a motion or discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-12 fire fee assessment.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
I'll second.
A first and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, at this time, we'll have final public comment. If there's anything you'd like to come back and speak on or anything, please feel free to come forth.
Dave Yeager, 2750 Purple Mill Court. If anybody gets a chance, they need to go look at Del Webb. It's open during the day to see what real pickleball
Pickleball.
courts look like.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. I think they did almost $600,000 worth of landscaping, but it's quite impressive. It's not open. They won't open them yet until they get some infrastructure for the road. And I know there's a piece of land that I don't own, but it's right next to the wastewater treatment plant for a master plan, because, you know, we're going to spend $62 million someday, probably sooner than later, but we definitely could use it for municipal waste. We could be in the trash business. We could use it for a repair facility for the city. It's already industrial. It's on a road that won't be improved for 5 years. It's next to Seacoast, so we're not bothering anybody. It could be a place for a morgue, because the county's been asking for a morgue because a lot more people are living here and a lot more people are dying. And that's what happens. So there's multitude of things that could happen, but it's right there for the picking. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Jennifer Morse, 1064 Golden Dawn Loop. Just a couple of questions, follow-up questions on the trailhead bid. I'm curious, the bids came in at 3.6, 3.1. I think the meeting, you guys said that I think the project manager said that the bid was very vague, and we expect it to exceed that amount. So just curious, because when we discussed Trailhead Park and during the workshop, we had no funds for parks, and we had to provide basic necessities for our residents. That was the excuse. But we're ready to award a $3.1 or $3.6 million contract. Where are these funds magically coming from now? And is it in the 2024-25 budget or the 25-26 budget?
So it'll be coming out of next year's budget. We had to put a hold on the septic to sewer, which was the #1 priority, until the wastewater plant gets expanded. And so that has now switched over to doing the park. And once the wastewater plant's expanded, we'll switch back over and work on septic to sewer again.
So you're taking funds for capital projects for septic and reallocating them to parks for the CRA or for the general fund?
CRA funds.
Okay, and how much was the septic allocated?
We were still saving for it. The engineers at that time estimated the cost to be $23 million project. We intended to try to supplement some of that, as we did with the previous one, with grant funds. We had a variety of grant funds available to us. But that was the goal, is to, you know, $23 million was our goal through CRA funds and/or grant funds.
Okay. I will have more questions on that once I see the bids and stuff that I asked for today. Thank you. Another couple questions to Mr. Josh Ager, not Yeager, Ager's question on the parks in the hills. That workshop happened almost 5 months ago, 5.5 months ago. I think that's been enough time for us to mull it over. So I think the residents are wanting some action on these items that we talk about, but we just don't see any movement on. So is there a possibility to get a workshop or someone to actually start working towards a design on what we're going to do with that area? And who makes that decision? I imagine it's the majority of the residents, right? But that workshop was kind of not really conclusive to a very good discussion on that, just based on how it was presented. So maybe we can start over and try again.
I think at this point in time, I can't answer that. We've kind of all leaned on Councilman Hernandez to lead the recreation until, I don't feel comfortable answering what the next step is until he gets back. So if you don't mind
Say
holding the
that.
question until he gets back.
Fair enough.
I think it's a valid question. I just don't think,
Fair
out of
enough.
respect to him, I don't want to overstep my boundaries.
Okay.
Thank you.
And my final question, I think, would be for the GFL contract. I know I asked where we are, or I can't remember what I watch and where, if I'm here, but is there a project manager? I know you had said that your code enforcement officer is no longer here, but is there someone else that has gone to these roads and have signed off on the roads that have already completed? Have they sent us a mitigation plan, like an actual tangible document? And where are we with the timeline? Because I started this conversation in January. I think it started in November or December last year. So we kind of need some, you know, like, let's get some movement on some finalization on these things.
Yep, so we do have staff that are out monitoring that. We have had the cleaning company themselves, not just GFL, to come and speak with council. And I think we're going to have them come regularly, probably not every council meeting, but we're going to have them come at a regular interval to provide an update on their street cleaning projects.
With an actual plan, like a document that says, these are the roads that we've already cleaned, the city has signed off on it. These are the roads that are in progress. This is the completion date. These are the roads that are still yet to be started on. This is the estimated completion date, because obviously this is a phased approach, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know that it'll be exactly in that format, but definitely it will have some information on which roads have been done and which ones that they will be doing next.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nicole Marie, 879 High Point Circle. I have a couple of questions that I would like to start with. So first of all, I would like to look at you two ladies, because I feel like both of you have such incredible insights that I never get to really hear when we do these council meetings. So I would just love to hear from you guys a little bit more. But I wanted to talk about items 2 through 6. The words say consider, right? That's a very key word here. It says consider the request. You guys kind of just brushed through these agenda items and were saying, okay, yes. But item number 4 specifically stood out to me. Are any of you aware of the house fire that took place in Minneola about 2 weeks ago? Pretty big house fire, made the news. Claremont had to come in and help because Minneola didn't have enough trucks, and we were able to contact the Claremont Fire Department and ask them what was it that Minneola was short on, and we asked all these types of questions. And so I was very interested to see how you guys were going to handle this tonight. If we have this word that says consider request to purchase equipment for the new fire engine, but what's the equipment? because we are actually short some of the trucks. So I did some of my own research, and I don't understand why we're trying to skim through some of this stuff so quick. There was a fire in our town, a structural fire, enough that 2 departments had to report to the scene. And we're just going to brush over and say, yes, we approve the items, but we're not going to figure out what are the equipments that we're looking to purchase. Can we sit there for a second?
Yeah, so whenever there's a house fire,
If I may, because she did ask for
Thank you.
one of us ladies to speak, and I don't mean to, with all due respect, I don't mean to interrupt you, but she asked for me to speak or to at least say something. Just for the record, I don't have to say anything. Sometimes I choose not to because it's best that I don't. But on the other hand, that's why I have a city manager that I can go to him and talk to him about these things. I also do trust our city manager because it says city manager's consent agenda. I trust that if there's an issue, that I can ask him these not only behind the scenes, instead of at a meeting, but behind the scenes. So we don't take up too much time at a meeting, and we don't waste other people's time that are in the audience. So there are several things here that I do speak to him about, again, behind the scenes, so it's not that I
So
don't
how does
have
the
any
behind the
input.
scenes thing help the rest of the residents to
Well,
know
you
what's
see,
going
it's not
on?
and maybe I'm using the wrong words. I go to his office.
Sure.
And I'll ask him questions
Right.
regarding the agenda. So that's what I mean about behind the scenes.
Right.
If I feel that it's something that I need to present to council and also to the residents, I would mention something. But that's why our mayor also asks, does anybody have anything to say? Does anyone in the audience have anything to say? That's where I come from. That's my stand on it. So I hope that that helps you into why I don't speak very much.
So the reason why I asked
Sure.
is that I have been all over the different pages recently in the past 2 weeks since this fire. And it looks like a lot of people who cannot attend here in person but are watching on South Lake TV have no idea. And so if, I or Mr. Ager or Jen doesn't come up here and ask the questions, then it feels like the questions just don't get asked. And so if you had questions about the agenda, I understand that you have the ability to go, to Mr. Mark's desk and you can ask him, that's great. But what if people in the audience had that same question? And those are the same people who put you in the office. So you can help bring clarity to your people by asking the question in front of people, especially when it has to do with a fire in someone's home.
Okay, first of all, I'm not aware of someone's fire at their home. Okay, so my apologies on that. I mean, it's not a laughing matter either, so I don't know why you're smiling about it.
I'm smiling because it's who I am as a person. I don't know why you're taking this attack. I'm asking a general question.
Okay, and I'm just asking why the smile. I
Because
don't
I'm
know about
happy to
the
be here. I have
fire.
breath in my lungs.
Excuse me?
I have breath in my lungs. I'm happy to be here. I smile because it's my right. We don't have to talk about my smile.
Perfect.
I
Okay.
asked a question.
And I'm
that's
answering
it.
your
That's fine.
question.
As an attack.
And I am not, no, and I was not aware about that fire. I
Hmm.
was aware about some lightning strikes that took place, yes, in the city of Minneola. Now, in regards to questions that I have from my city manager, it's questions on
Our city manager.
Actually, you're absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
our.
Yes,
Yes, I
our.
am.
You're right. Our city manager, I go and talk with him about things that I feel that, do we need to discuss, do we not need to discuss? That's why I have to make those appointments with him. If I feel that it's necessary, I will ask those questions at a council meeting. But I don't think that I need to because I trust my city manager, our city manager, making those consent agenda requests.
As a resident.
Yes, ma'am.
And someone who has voted for you guys to get in, and I'm here with you guys every week, I personally would like if you guys had some of those conversations here out in public instead of behind closed doors.
Okay.
So that for the people who do not understand or the people who do not know these things like you do, have a chance.
Sure.
Right? I think that it helps when because we're opening and we're inviting and we're having conversation and we're allowing people to be a part of that conversation instead of having those conversations behind closed doors.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My last question, Mark, was what was that for? If you can just clarify what that what the equipment was.
It's RIT equipment and extrication equipment and some other things. I can go through line by line here.
Is there anything coming up in the next, like in the next year's budget that would put another truck on that?
So we have a full complement of trucks. Whenever there's a house fire, we've responded to house fires in Groveland, Claremont, Lake County ourselves. All closest units go in to assist each other.
Yes, sir.
It's not uncommon for that to happen. We want to make sure we have, you know, a complement of staff and equipment. So you will see Claremont on our calls or Groveland, but you'll also see us on their calls as well.
So the reason why I'm asking the question is because, like, for the state standards for a 20,000 population, it says that we should have 4 frontline units, we should have 2 to 3 tankers, brush trucks, at least 1 aerial ladder truck. We've got in 3 stations. So we have 2 active, if it is my understanding, and 1, I guess, in the works, or we're talking about it, I'm not sure. But we keep talking about growing population, but these are also the standards that need to be considered. My other question is about the hospital. Do we have a aerial ladder that is big enough to help with that hospital?
We do. It's sitting right next door. It's a 100-foot ladder, called a platform truck.
And then last but not least, the question about the speed bumps. I don't know, again, on social media, somebody was putting in their comments and they said that they live in the neighborhood and the speed bumps were not all the way through and that they were on some of the side streets and they didn't quite understand what the layout was or how those speed bumps got picked. So is there somewhere that I can direct these residents to show them the online, like, is there an actual plan that says, you know, the speed bumps are going to be every so 100 feet on what streets and things like that? Because they seemed very confused.
Yeah, they were marked out by a plan. I imagine I've spoken with the same resident that you saw make that post. The concern was on Lakeview Oaks Drive. We're going to put a digital speed indicator on that instead of speed humps. But the other streets,
there was quite a few. It was a whole thread, so there was quite a few people that were speaking on it.
Yeah, but if you recall, we had a traffic study done on that, and then we also had another traffic engineer suggest where the bump out should go,
right?
Which would also include the humps, and we did the humps, but not the bump outs.
But was there a actual plan that was posted publicly so that the residents can go find it? Like, was there a
I don't know that we posted
plan?
it publicly, but we definitely had public discussion on the traffic study.
Okay, well, if we can just, I don't know, figure out how I can, basically the people want to see it. That's what I'm trying to say. They want to see these plans. It's one thing to talk about, it's one thing to have it, but they want to see it. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
I want to just make a comment real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to go behind what the Vice Mayor said, is when we look at the manager's consent agenda, online, due to the mayor's request, it is now transparent. So what we see in detail with the manager's consent agenda, you also have access to. And with what Pam said, is if I have a question, I also ask, but I also understand when you want to get these questions out and open. But everything that we see in our packet, you have access as well to. So we get to see the same thing.
Again, I wasn't asking for me. I was asking on behalf of the residents because, again, it was all over. There was lots of different groups. They were in Minneola Rant Raven Free Review. There was people asking questions about Minneola in the Claremont pages that we were looking at. There was people mentioning it in Groveland Post, and they were all over. And so I wanted to ask on behalf of them because a lot of these people can't come, right? They work, or I know a couple of people work overnight shifts and they just can't make it. So I figured if we get to have the conversations here, we know that they're watching it on South Lake TV. If you have a question that you would go and ask, behind closed doors, maybe somebody else has that same question. And so what I'm asking you to consider is to allow there to be a little bit more dialogue, because even if you guys know, and I'm not saying to question his work, I'm not trying to challenge anything, but what I am trying to bring your awareness to is that a lot of these people have no idea. They don't understand this language. They don't have a lawyer degree, right? They don't know these things. So you asking the common everyday questions help them. Me coming up here is asking questions that other people may have, and they can't speak.
But I will tell you this too. We've made it very, transparent you know, that everything that is on this agenda that we see, that you see. Also, our phone numbers are on the website. Each one of us have an email, and all the residents who put us here in this office, that all 5 of us, not to speak for all 5 of us, but I know we've all been here for a long time and worked together, they feel the same way. I mean, we are reachable, we are contactable, we are open to receive any of those conversations, whether it be questions or comments. I have phone calls and emails every day. So, I mean, we are accessible.
Right, but again, if we have those conversations here, where they're being recorded, people can watch it back, we can take accountability, we can have the conversations together, it may mitigate some of that frustration some people are having. So I appreciate each of you putting your phone numbers out there. I appreciate you being available. But if we have those conversations here, then maybe it will lessen the amount of people who are calling you on the phone because they understand the things. We're having the conversations in person. We're all kind of getting on the same page, and we're offering transparency, that we can go back, we can watch it on replay, that there's no confusion, no he said, she said, oh, I talked to so-and-so behind the doors, but I didn't hear it mentioned there. It's all here. And so I'm just inviting you again to bring those conversations here, because if you have the question, so does somebody else. Thank you.
And maybe too, at the same time, with those people reach out to us, I mean, I know that we're all available. If they reach out to us and we have certain people that have certain questions and we comment back, we can also bring back to City Council and repeat those things. Hey, just for the audience, for the recording, we want you to know that this person reached out and I want to answer it online now in front of everyone.
Yeah, I would love if you
maybe
guys
that
did
will
that
be
a little bit
shareable.
more. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
And I think
Thank you.
actually the last meeting, I don't know if you were here or not, I did bring up the Facebook post with GFL and the garbage pails that were put out there. So, you know, again, I do speak, I do come forward, I do let people know what other people are letting me know, and I do bring it forward and make sure that everyone is understanding the comments that I get outside of this meeting as well as inside the meeting, so.
And again, I apologize if you felt it was an attack. It wasn't. It's, I really, truly desire to hear you more. So I know that you do, maybe a little more. That's all. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I have another shot at this, please?
Your name and address, please.
Yes.
Thank you. So since I'm the one who started the fire department many, many years ago, and when I was mayor, my dream was to have the fire department, and I got a lot of abuse from the county, and back then they only had basic life support. Well, I wanted advanced life support because 80 to 90% of all calls are medical. And at that time, we started a fire department, and council voted on getting a chief and basically hired one of the consultants, and that wasn't my cup of tea, but anyway, that was the flavor of the council. So starting a fire department's difficult at best, one, and we, before that, we just had Lake County, and Lake County would do all the calls, and Claremont would assist and things like that. And since I've been on the contract for the Turnpike for 20-some years, Lake County would be out there and do the job, and then now you have the villages doing the north, and then you have Minneola out on the Turnpike probably a lot, more than anyone. If there's a big truck fire accident, but you'll see Minneola a lot. And the reason Minneola's there now is because we're at the Ferndale station, and the city manager worked an agreement with the county, and that's why we're out there a lot. When it comes to house fires, we had that house that used to be the old landing field over there that burned down and killed a person.
Mm-hmm.
That house was over 100 and some years old. What I learned about fire department, stick your nose out of it as a council member or a mayor, and you let them do their job. And their job was, like, our dispatch system was a dispatch just from Minneola. But many times I come and say, manager, I said, what the hell is our truck doing in Claremont? Well, we have a reciprocal deal. So sometimes if Claremont was busy, and as Claremont has growing pains, we had to be reciprocal. Many times you see them in Claremont Commons, you would see them at Citrus Tower, you would see them on 27, things like that. When it's a house fire, it's a whole different animal. And We don't control how everything gets dispatched. It's through a master dispatch that has changed a lot, and Mark can tell you has changed a lot because we used to take care of our own little hub here. But now they do a master dispatch, and house fires are important, and everybody comes. So it's not a lack of equipment. It's not a lack of growing the fire department at a slower rate. We're doing just fine, and it's a thing in progress. But again, I started the fire department. I took the abuse for the fire department because I didn't want basic life support. And I remember the county manager was not happy with me. The county union was not happy with it because they're going to lose their jobs and the world's going to go to heck and their families won't eat and all that. And all that happened. And one day, the city manager called and they had some things at the fire department and they wanted to shut it down. Well, all the council agree. We shut it down and we had everything in place. And that didn't go well for the city manager because he was sent away. But I would back him up today if it happened again because we had some issues that had to be straightened out. Let me say this too. We had a union in our fire department and we don't have a union now. Is that right, Mark?
Right. That is
Yes.
correct.
So we've been through many growing pains. All the abuse I took and what I did, would I do it again? Hell yes. And it's no different what I would say about the police department. It's a transition that needs to go. As this county gets bigger, they're putting in our 5,000 homes, I told you, in down there on the south end of Claremont. They're going to, if there's house fires, the houses are closed, there's going to be some fires, and everybody's going to participate. And again, the council was proactive, got a tower truck because we have a hospital. So again, no one knows about fire departments, but I learned not to I didn't micromanage anything.
Micromanage.
Basically, here's what you need, let's go, let's get it done. But Minneola's definitely better off because of fire department. And of course, we had to renovate the old firehouse, and that was interesting at best. It had mold, and we had to do that. And then we tried to move the firehouse. The neighbors lost their mind. Why did they lose their mind? They love the firehouse. They love the firefighters. They like when the sirens and lights go out and they go out there. We didn't even have a light on 27. When we started the fire department, we finally got that light on 27 and let the fire truck out safely. So we've been through all that. But again, the county's probably going to go, do the ambulance in there. The county's been in a temporary building on Diston for, supposed to be there 5 years. It's been there over 20 years. So there's a lot of changes. But as far as the fire department, 1 to 10, we're at 20, and we haven't slacked. I remember when we had our one engine, and Mount Verde had 2 engines they didn't need because they had a volunteer fire department, and the council bought that fire engine, brought it over here, and we did that. And now that fire engine is still a backup. It's 20 years old, but at 20 years old, there's 2 ways to do it. Refurbish it, but there still has to be standards for your ISO. So that's a whole nother situation. So house fires are house fires. They're going to happen. And it's kind of like when Nathan that time, we had somebody died at Publix. No disrespect to anybody, that happens. But the deal is that's not something for council. That's why you have the sheriff's department. They handle that. We don't, why didn't somebody tell us? Well, the sheriff's department handles that. That's what we do. And I'm sure we have a PIO at the fire department. And I'm sure if it was something that PIO would speak on camera. And it depends who got called first there. Sometimes, if it is a Minneola fire, Claremont, that PIO would answer the questions. Whoever's the first to come in, maybe Minneola was tied up because we're tied up on the turnpike. Minneola's tied on the turnpike 4 or 5 hours sometimes. Mm-hmm. Tonight we had a 7-car wreck, 2 semis and a bunch of cars. And in the last 3 years, we had over 850 wrecks a year on the turnpike from 272 to 285. That's a lot. So if you look at your budget and you see, well, why we spend all this money for fuel and labor? Well, we've been out there. And the county used to do that. We do that now because of the dispatch system. But it's changed. But, we're not slacking at all at the fire department. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who want to speak? I thank you for all y'all's input coming out this evening. Pam? Mark? Sorry.
Mark first.
City manager.
We've added some signs at the Chuck site and the gazebo site to help notify the public of special events as requested. Those, I think the frames are up, but we're waiting on the part that goes across the front. We have a workshop next Tuesday, the 22nd, regarding the town center in the hills.
Can you hold that thought?
Yes.
I just want to add to that. I did find out today that Councilman Hernandez is not there. This workshop was requested by the developer.
When is it?
It's next Tuesday. It was requested by that date by the developer. And went ahead and put it on the schedule because I didn't want to expose the county, the city to anything of, oh, you're delaying my project even more. But I did, on behalf of Mr. Hernandez, know he was not going to be able to make it. I did reach out. I copied Scott. I didn't copy you, and I apologize. I copied Scott and the city manager and asked him if he would consider delaying his workshop for 2 weeks. And he has said he would get back. That's what I just checked a second over those. I looked at my email to see if he had replied back so I could answer the question. I'm waiting on a reply back if he wants to delay. He hasn't decided if he wants Mr. Hernandez here or doesn't want him here. But he does have, this got held up a lot in city, and it's been in the pipeline for a while. And so my concern was, I just don't want to give the city. So as of now.
Generally don't vote at a workshop, so.
Right. But as, out of respect to
Right,
Mr.
but-
Hernandez, I wanted to make sure he
Yeah,
was
I
here,
mean-
but out of respect to the developer,
We should all be there, yeah.
so we should figure that out. So please check your emails updating if he cancels it. Right now, it's tentatively scheduled, but if something comes up, and in the future, Mark, can you please make sure if something like that gets scheduled that we don't wait till the manager's comments, that you kind of at least drop an email to people and say, hey, this got scheduled, or this is getting scheduled, just proactively
Okay.
put it in. And it's kind of new. I think there's a point in time where the next meeting, we probably should consider having a standard, like the second Tuesday or the fourth Tuesday as a workshop, and just say that is going to be a workshop so we can all plan for it and then just not have it. But that's something we can discuss later. But that was the update on the workshop. Didn't mean to cut you off, Mark, but I just want to give you an update on that.
No problem. So right now, it's scheduled for July 22nd at 6:30, and subject to change. It won't be any sooner than that, but it could be a couple weeks later than that. And we'll notify everybody once that is confirmed, either way. The social media RFP has been advertised and it's out for bid, and that's all. Thank you.
Great. Anything for the city manager?
Nothing for the city manager. Thank you for your time, Mark.
No, thank you. Thank you, Mark.
No,
Mr. Sanas?
nothing.
The attorney?
I don't have any reports, thank you.
Anything for the attorney?
No, thank you. Good
No,
seeing you.
thank Yes.
Anything for the attorney?
Nope.
Okay. Pam, anything?
I'll let you talk about Thursday, but, but August 2nd is moving right along smoothly, so I appreciate everyone's help. And August 2nd, in case anyone doesn't know what August 2nd is the renaming ceremony for Officer Master Deputy Bradley Link. That's what August 2nd is about. And we will having this ceremony here at 10 a.m., Minneola City Hall.
Pam, I know it's yours, but I did speak to Pam Jones. You're aware of that?
Yes.
There's going to be a letter from the.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
make sure that.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you
Yes.
for handling
And I actually am aware of it because the city manager had emailed me and let me
Okay,
know.
yeah, I
So
just-
thank you.
But her and I
Yeah,
will just
no.
kind of communicate.
You're
'Cause She
good.
likes to be in the loop. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I saw her at a ribbon cutting as well, so
yeah, just make sure. Okay,
it's
thanks.
super good. Thank you, though.
I'm excited. Sad
too.
we have to have it, but
I'm sorry?
sad we have to have it.
Sad we have to have it, but we will have snacks. I know you're big on snacks, so we'll have plenty of food. And if anybody does need a flyer at all, there is one in the hallway. I have posted them on social media, and I do have a couple that I can hand out as well to anyone that is interested. That's it.
is this something that, I know we don't have a social media person, can you do a Facebook blast or something out to the people of South Lake? Do you know how to do that?
For the road naming?
Yeah.
Actually,
out there.
they have posted it on social media, but you want to do a blast, that's,
Push it if we can.
On our
Do
website?
you know how to push it?
yeah, if we could be on our
On our
website.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Perfect.
If you can, it's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
I have no reports. Thank you.
Mr. Saunders?
Nothing to report.
Okay, we will have, basically, the chamber breakfast is on Thursday. I will give you a copy of I got your 2 slides. I lost them, honestly, but I did get them, so. But Christine has said she's going to get them to me the second time. So whatever you want to say. The agenda was pretty big. We cut a lot of it out. So Ms. Flynn is going to kind of high level talk about library, the fire station. Christine's going to get some updated pictures tomorrow to me to speak on that. And if you can, and then they'll get you, 3 or 4 bullet points on each item just to speak at that point in time. Joe, is there anything you want to do it though?
No.
No, don't want to do anything. Are you going to be able to make it to the breakfast, hopefully?
Am I going to be what?
Able to make it to the breakfast, hopefully?
I will be there, yes.
Good. So,
If you can just kind of
Middle of the
explain.
night, I'll be there.
In the middle of the night, yeah. Explain to the audience what you're speaking about in case
okay,
they're
so
unaware
every year,
of.
for the last few years,
that
we've
is.
done a chamber, South Lake Chambers hosted a breakfast for the businesses of South Lake to explain to them what's going on in Minneola and give them updates on all the projects. And so this is our annual, it's held at Sterling Events. And that's it, it's a chamber event. And every month they get kind of a sponsor, and Advent did it once. I guess Orlando Health does it, everybody does it. We will have Ken will be speaking. Tara Tidro will be speaking on what's upgraded at the City Hall, at the City Center.
The fire chief. is
So-
speaking.
No,
No, he's
you're playing the part of the
Am I
fire
playing
chief,
his
or
part?
part of the fire chief. The city, the Citrus Grove Road project will be Jones will be speaking on that.
Okay.
The school board will be speaking. So it's kind of just a high-level piece. A lot of the pieces went down. And I think it will be live on South Lake TV for those who aren't able to make it.
All right.
So, okay.
Okay.
And
With that
again,
said-
it's on Thursday at 7:15.
7:15.
Yep.
So, yes, sir.
No, I
Well,
haven't, I'm
because
sorry.
Because we had closed public,
public
we had closed public comment. But Jennifer, please come up if you have a question.
Just a quick, I don't want to break this again. Just a quick, Jennifer Morris, 1064 Golden John Loop. Just a quick question. I forgot to ask earlier. It's my understanding there is a seat now on P&Z that is open. Are we going to advertise that to the Minneola residents for applications for P&Z board?
Yeah, that just happened, so we'll be posting that shortly. I mean, that just
Shortly.
happened.
Yeah, I just,
Her board, not mine.
yeah. So you're going to put it on Facebook?
We advertise it on Facebook that there is an opening. We also post it out here on the bulletin board.
Okay.
And
Is there
so-
like a time frame of?
Yes,
to
so there's
accept
a time
applications?
frame that we accept the applications. Once that time frame is cut off, and the council will, at that time, review the applications, the qualifications, et cetera, and then we will vote on.
Okay. Thank
a-
you.
a vote.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, with that said, anything other?
Nope.
Anyone, any other hands I miss? We good? Everybody cool?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So Jennifer,
I'll get you a picture of this. It's kind of, this kind of.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah,
We all go on this Chamber of Commerce breakfast.
yes.
Is that